There comes a moment in every person's life when the world grows silent for a heartbeat, and a small voice whispers from deep inside, "Is this all I was meant for?" Some ignore that voice and return to the comfort of their routine. Others feel it like a spark that burns the edges of their old self. And a very rare few understand that this is the beginning of a calling, a reminder that the life they want is waiting behind a gate only they can open. Part 1. You have been told many stories about wealth. Some say it belongs only to the lucky ones, as if fortune is handed out like a secret invitation. Others say it is a gift meant for a chosen few, the ones born in the right family, or the right neighborhood, or the right moment in history. You hear these stories so often that part of you begins to believe them. You start thinking that success is something outside your reach, something you admire from a distance but never touch. But deep down you sense another truth. There is a part of you that refuses to accept these limits. It pushes against the edges of your life like a heartbeat demanding to be heard. When you see someone living with confidence and purpose, you do not simply feel envy. You feel recognition. Something inside you says, "I am meant for more. I was not created to live small." This feeling is not arrogance. It is the beginning of awareness. It is the same feeling that great builders, leaders, and innovators felt before the world ever knew their names. It is the early signal that wealth begins not with money but with a new state of mind. Napoleon Hill taught that every accomplishment begins with a single thought and a burning desire. Before gold is found in the world, it must first be discovered in the mind. The truth is simple yet powerful. Wealth is not an outside treasure waiting for the lucky to stumble upon it. Wealth is an inner conquest. It is the art of mastering yourself so completely that the world has no choice but to respond. Every truly wealthy person understands this. They were not shaped by luck. They were shaped by discipline, intention, and a commitment to rise no matter how many times they fell. But this truth is not taught openly. The world profits from your doubt. Your hesitation feeds industries built on distraction. Your insecurities keep you quiet and obedient. The world rarely teaches you how powerful you truly are because a powerful person becomes unstoppable. A powerful person no longer accepts crumbs. A powerful person cannot be controlled. So how do you begin reclaiming that power? You begin by challenging the stories you were told. Ask yourself who benefits when you doubt your potential. Who gains when you tell yourself you are not ready or not worthy or not capable? Who wins when you play small? Every time you shrink your dreams to fit your fears, you give away a piece of yourself. Every time you blame luck or circumstance, you lock another door in your own mind. And every time you tell yourself you will try tomorrow, you push your destiny one more step out of reach. Napoleon Hill wrote that the starting point of all achievement is desire. But desire alone is not enough. There is a hunger inside you that goes deeper than simple wanting. It is the hunger to grow, to rise, to live a life that reflects your potential. This hunger is the beginning of wealth. You may feel it late at night when everyone else is asleep and your thoughts wander to the life you imagine but never pursue. You feel it when you watch people coast through their days, settling for a life that drains them but never challenges them. Their eyes are tired. Their dreams have become distant memories. They accept a life they did not choose simply because it is familiar, but inside you there is a rebellion. You refuse to let your dreams decay. You refuse to stand at the sidelines of your own story. That refusal is the spark of greatness, yet the path ahead is not gentle. The world protects its treasures with tests. You will meet resistance in the form of fear, doubt, and temptation. You will face mornings when you feel tired, evenings when you feel discouraged, and moments when you wonder if your effort matters. But these moments are not there to stop you. They are there to shape you. They are the fire that turns simple desire into unbreakable determination. Your first task is to master your thoughts. The mind is a battlefield, and wealth is won or lost there long before it shows up in your bank account. You must confront the chaos inside your own head. The old resentments, the excuses, the small habits that drain your strength. These must be faced and removed one by one. You may feel discomfort during this process. That is good. Growth always begins where comfort ends. Every moment you resist the old version of yourself, you become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you build a new layer of inner power. Every time you refuse to quit, you build the foundation of wealth. The world will tempt you with distraction. It will offer you easier paths and softer choices. It will whisper that you deserve to relax, that you can start later, that your dreams can wait. But you already know the truth. Delay kills dreams faster than failure. The person who succeeds is not the person who waits. It is the one who acts. You are not fighting the world. You are fighting the weaker version of yourself. You are fighting the voice that tells you to settle. You are fighting the habits that hold you down. And every victory over these forces opens another gate inside you. When you finally understand that your destiny is shaped not by circumstance but by your response to life, the first gate unlocks. From that moment on, you are no longer controlled by fear. You are driven by purpose. You begin to see yourself differently. You begin to feel a quiet strength growing within you. This is the beginning of the journey. Not with money. Not with luck. But with a new identity. With the hunger to rise. With the courage to claim everything the world told you was not yours. This is where wealth truly begins. Inside you. Part 2. The fire of endurance engaging hook. There is a moment in every rising person's life when they stand alone at the crossroads of desire and action. One path is soft and familiar, lined with comfort and easy excuses. The other is steep, lonely, and filled with the kind of effort that makes your bones ache. And in that moment you learn the truth. Success does not ask who wants it the most. Success asks who can endure the longest. Part 2. Most people want a better life. Most people crave success, confidence, freedom, and the power to choose their future. But wanting is easy. Wanting requires no courage. Anyone can sit quietly and imagine themselves living a dream they never fight for. The world is full of those who want. Very few commit. Even fewer endure. But the man or woman who masters their desires, who commands their impulses, who chooses duty over indulgence, becomes someone the world cannot ignore. These individuals rise not because they are lucky, but because they stop bowing to the soft voices inside that whisper, slow down, take it easy, you deserve a break. They know those whispers are the first signs of surrender. And surrender, when repeated often, builds a life of regret. Endurance is not born from comfort. It is born from friction. It grows in the dark places where you fight quietly with your own weaknesses. It forms when you continue to move forward long after excitement has faded. When no one is cheering. When the applause has died. When the journey feels heavy. That is where true endurance begins. Napoleon Hill taught that every person who reaches greatness passes through a season of trials. These trials are not punishments. They are gateways. The universe asks a single question before granting anything of value. Can you persist when everything inside you wants to stop? The people who build wealth in any form, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual, understand this law. They accept discomfort without complaint. They do not see it as suffering. They see it as sharpening. Every challenge becomes a test of their resolve. Every temptation becomes an invitation to strengthen their discipline. Every obstacle becomes a chance to rise. They choose pain over ease, not because they enjoy pain, but because they know that pain is the purifier of intent. Pain removes the false desires, the weak desires, the temporary desires. Only the real purpose survives the fire. When you embrace that truth, you begin to understand the path of the relentless. You must realize that no amount of success can exist where excuses live. Excuses weaken the spine. Excuses shrink the future. Excuses poison the spirit. Each time you justify your hesitation, each time you allow yourself to quit, even for a moment, you trade a piece of your destiny for temporary relief. And that is a poor trade. The riches you seek do not live in the world of the reasonable. They do not live among people who negotiate with their limits. They live at the very edge of your endurance, beyond the line most people refuse to cross. They live in the territory where ordinary people stop. If you are willing to go further, if you are willing to take one more step when comfort has failed you, then you enter a different league of living. Wealth lives in the domain of the relentless. It belongs to the ones who continue long after others have surrendered. It belongs to those who keep going even when they have every reason to stop. To want is human. To endure is rare. Now you reach another truth. The greatest enemy you will ever face is not outside you. It is not competition. It is not failure. It is not luck. Your greatest adversary is the voice within that knows your fears intimately and uses them against you. This enemy inside you is clever. It speaks in your own tone. It carries your own memories. It tells you comforting lies. It persuades you to delay your effort until tomorrow, when tomorrow is simply another name for never. It convinces you that you have done enough, even when your heart knows you have more to give. When you surrender to this inner saboteur, you become the architect of your own destruction. You spend your days longing for greatness while building routines that lead only to regret. Every complaint becomes a chain. Every excuse becomes a lock. Every moment spent feeding destructive emotions becomes a step away from the future you were meant to live. Envy steals your ambition. Fear shrinks your courage. Resentment poisons your decisions. These emotions imprison you without bars or guards. You walk freely in the world but remain trapped inside your own mind. That is why mastery of the self becomes the highest discipline. Victory is won not in public, but in private. Not in the noise of the world, but in the silent rooms of your inner life. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you win a battle no one else ever sees. Every time you rise when you would rather rest, you reclaim a piece of your potential. To rule yourself is to earn freedom. To fail at self-rule is to become a prisoner of circumstance. This is where the law of exchange enters your life. Nothing valuable comes without sacrifice. The world demands a price for everything it gives. But the price is fair when you understand it. You must trade what is small for what is great. You must trade what is comfortable for what is powerful. You must trade your old self for the one you are becoming. What will you surrender? Will you give up the empty habits that steal your time? Will you release the excuses that keep you from starting? Will you set aside the distractions that weaken your focus? Or will you cling to them and watch your potential fade into the background of your life? Comfort is the most skillful thief of destiny. It tells you that nothing needs to change, that you can stay as you are. But comfort always takes more than it gives. It drains your ambition. It dulls your hunger. It erodes your courage. On the other hand, sacrifice sharpens you. Sacrifice strengthens you. Sacrifice transforms you. Every time you choose intention over impulse, you become someone new. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than your habits suggested. This is the true beginning of wealth. Not the collection of money. Not the applause of others. But the moment you choose to exchange your lesser self for your greater self. When you accept that you must give something up to gain something better, you become unstoppable. Your inner fire grows. Your discipline strengthens. Your future opens. Greatness is purchased in quiet rooms, through quiet choices, with no audience to approve your effort. But when the results finally appear, the world will call it luck. Only you will know the truth. You endured, and endurance is the first mark of a wealthy spirit. Part 3. The Crucible of Adversity. Engaging hook. There comes a moment in every person's life when the world stops being gentle and begins to test them. It does not knock. It does not ask permission. It simply arrives and asks one question: what are you truly made of? Most people fear this question. But those who rise in life welcome it, because they understand a truth the ordinary never learn. Hardship is not here to break you. Hardship is here to reveal you. Part 3 Story. Modified in Napoleon Hill motivational style. Hardship is the most honest instructor you will ever meet. It strips away your excuses and exposes the truth inside you. It removes illusions, pride, and the comfortable lies you tell yourself on easy days. Hardship has only one task: to reveal your strength or expose your weakness. Look around and you will see countless men and women who shrink from struggle. A disappointment arrives and they step back. A betrayal occurs and they close off their hearts. Each wound becomes a reason to stop trying. Every failure becomes another brick in the wall they build around their potential. They allow life to make them smaller. They allow bitterness to eat away the courage they once had. But you are not meant to be one of them. You have a power they never used. You can take your pain and turn it into a crucible where your spirit becomes stronger. You can let adversity shape you into someone who does not break in the storm, but rises through it. Every disappointment you suffer is an invitation to rise above the ordinary. Every betrayal is a lesson disguised as pain. Every loss is a new beginning asking you to rebuild with more wisdom than before. Most people run from these invitations. They cover their wounds with distraction. They hide their disappointment with anger. They waste years blaming others instead of building themselves. But you must be different. You must learn to stand in the fire and remain calm. You must look at disappointment and say, I will become wiser. You must see betrayal and say, I will become stronger. You must face loss and say, I will begin again. Rejection is not a punishment. Rejection is direction. Every no you hear is another reminder that the world rewards persistence, not desire. Anyone can want something, but only a few can keep moving when the applause is gone and no one sees the struggle. You must become one of the few. Failure is not your enemy unless you choose to see it that way. Failure is instruction. Failure is feedback. Failure speaks the language of growth. It says adapt, adjust, rise again. The universe does not give its treasures to those who quit at the first sign of struggle. It reveals wealth only to those who remain steady in the heat. It is not enough to survive the fire. You must learn to remain unchanged inside it. Strength is born when circumstances lose the power to shape your character. Strength appears when life pushes you and you refuse to fall back into who you used to be. Most people see disaster when their plans collapse. You must see a proving ground. Most people see endings. You must see beginnings. Most people retreat when the journey turns dark. You must step forward. Greatness is not found in comfort. Wealth of mind and spirit is not found in easy days. Wealth is forged in the fire of adversity, when life strips away everything except your will. When you walk through that fire with your spirit intact, you become someone who cannot be defeated, and here lies the secret few ever learn. Every hardship is an opportunity for transformation. Not some hardships. All hardships. Pain becomes your teacher. Rejection becomes your sharpened focus. Loss becomes the wisdom that makes your next chapter stronger. When you embrace difficulty with a calm, determined heart, you step into a rare company. The company of those who are not destroyed by life, but shaped by it. The company of those who rise even when they fall. The company of those whose wealth cannot be taken because it is built inside them. The world does not remember those who quit silently in the darkness, but it remembers those who endure it. It remembers those who kept walking through the longest nights. It remembers those who turned adversity into the foundation of their greatness. Now the question is simple. When hardship arrives at your door, will you shrink like most people? Or will you rise like the few who claim the wealth of the strong? The choice is yours. And the choice reveals everything. Part 4. The discipline of daily victory. Engaging hook. The world does not hand out greatness in a single day. It does not appear in a sudden moment of inspiration or luck. Greatness is earned in quiet hours, in small decisions, in moments where no one is watching, and only your discipline stands between you and mediocrity. This is the battlefield most people never see. This is where the life you want is forged. Part 4. Story. True wealth, whether of the mind, spirit, or pocket, is never gained in a single dramatic moment. It is built in silence. It is crafted in the hours when you rise before the world stirs. It is strengthened in the moments when fatigue whispers to stop and distraction tempts you away from purpose. Greatness is the result of thousands of quiet, determined victories, fought in the hidden corners of your daily life. Every morning you are faced with a choice. You can surrender to the inertia of yesterday, continue in the safety of familiar routines, and let life carry you passively. Or you can rise, stand firm, and actively shape your future. The path of daily discipline is lonely. There are no applause and no cheers. There is only the quiet struggle to choose what is necessary over what is easy. Those who master this habit discover that each small victory accumulates into unstoppable momentum. The battles that build true wealth are unseen. The decision to resist comfort, to push when fatigue is strong, to choose clarity over confusion, are the victories that define character. No one will notice the hours you study, the time you spend improving your skills, or the moments you choose action over excuse. And that is precisely why it works. Success is silent because it grows in private. Those who wait for recognition first will never achieve it. Every choice you make either strengthens you or weakens you. To ignore your responsibilities, to give in to distraction, to bow to comfort, is to surrender a piece of your future. But each time you act with purpose, no matter how small the act, you build the foundation. Discipline is a daily ritual, not an occasional event. It is as simple as rising on time, completing what you begin, and holding yourself accountable even when no one is watching. The power of daily victories lies not in the action itself, but in the habit it creates. Habits shape character, and character shapes destiny. The person who develops the habit of excellence in the ordinary moments will carry that standard into every extraordinary opportunity. Conversely, those who indulge in mediocrity in private will find that public opportunities never last long in their hands. The world does not favor the one who waits for perfect conditions. The world favors the one who begins where they are, with what they have, and who refuses to quit. Every act of self-control, every moment you choose intention over ease, is a brick in the fortress of your future. Those who master this daily battle will find that challenges outside themselves become smaller because their internal strength has grown. Look at the smallest victories you can win today. Choose to start on time. Choose to work when no one else is. Choose to learn when others rest. These are not glamorous choices. They are not celebrated by peers. But they are the essence of building a life few ever achieve. Each repetition, each refusal to bow to laziness or distraction, strengthens your character and expands your capacity for success. You may feel unnoticed. You may feel unappreciated. You may feel like your effort is invisible. That is the nature of this work. True wealth is earned quietly. It is secured in the choices you make before anyone applauds, before anyone notices, before anyone believes in your potential. You are building your own fortress in the shadows. One day the world will see the results, and it will appear as though success arrived overnight. Only you will know the truth. Do not mistake comfort for happiness. Many people believe that ease is the goal. The truth is, joy is a byproduct of discipline. Joy comes from the satisfaction of keeping your word to yourself, of doing what is right even when it is hard, of standing firm when temptation calls. This is the secret few understand. Happiness is earned in the forge of daily choice, not found in the shallow indulgences of the world. Success does not come to the passive. It comes to those who design their routines and guard their time. The architect of their own habits, the master of their own decisions, and the guardian of their own promise, this person grows wealth not by chance but by deliberate action. Everything of value is built on consistent effort, repetition, and the refusal to surrender when results are slow to appear. Your habits are the currency of your future. Every decision to act with integrity, focus, and determination adds value. Every choice to avoid distraction and pursue improvement compounds over time. You may not see the results immediately. You may not feel the impact each day. But the work accumulates, quietly constructing the life you are meant to live. The fortress of your future is built with these daily acts of discipline. Every small victory protects your dreams from the erosion of laziness, distraction, and doubt. It shields your ambition from the storms of life and prepares you to seize opportunities when they arrive. The structure of greatness is not visible until it is complete, but each act of discipline is a brick laid in secret. Most will abandon this work when it feels tedious. They will let the lure of comfort outweigh their commitment to purpose. But you, if you choose wisely, can see that the small daily victories are the very path to the wealth of life. These victories, though unseen, create a momentum that will carry you farther than luck, talent, or fortune ever could. Stand guard over your time. Defend your routines. Protect your focus. The true masters of life are not those who avoid challenge, but those who consistently choose the right action even in the absence of recognition. Your inner victories accumulate into outer success. Your private discipline will one day become public results. Remember, no one will hand you the life you desire. No one will fight your battles for you. The world will not wait for your permission. The only way forward is through consistent, disciplined action, day by day, choice by choice. This is the path of the strong. This is the way of those who claim the wealth that cannot be stolen, the success that endures, and the life that matters. Your victory begins every morning. Your wealth is built in every moment you refuse the easy path. Your future is constructed in the silent battles you fight with your own habits, impulses, and focus. Success does not arrive suddenly. It is grown patiently, deliberately, and consistently. Every day counts. Every decision matters. Every action defines the life you will ultimately own. Discipline is the bridge between your current self and the person you are destined to become. It is the quiet, invisible work that shapes character, builds resilience, and ensures that when opportunity appears, you are ready to seize it with confidence, strength, and clarity. If you want, I can create part 5 next, keeping the same Napoleon Hill motivational style for your 6-part series. Do you want me to continue with part 5 now? Part 5. The power of detachment. Engaging hook. Most people are prisoners of their own attachments. They cling to comfort, reputation, and approval as if their lives depend on it. True freedom and wealth, however, come the moment you learn to let go. Detachment is not loss. Detachment is strength. It is the secret that separates those who struggle from those who rise above life's limitations. Part 5 Story: The wealthiest people you will ever meet are not the ones who hold on tightly to everything they have. They are the ones who have mastered the art of release. They understand that attachment, though often mistaken for love, ambition, or ambition-driven passion, can quietly become a chain that binds the mind, clouds judgment, and limits the possibilities of life. Attachment is subtle. It disguises itself as loyalty or dedication. It whispers that you must cling to comfort, reputation, or approval. It promises security, but it delivers limitation. People trapped by attachment measure their worth by what they possess or what others think of them. Their energy scatters chasing the fleeting applause of the world. Their focus is divided, their vision narrowed. The truly rich spirit does not fear loss. The truly wealthy mind does not crave constant approval. Detachment allows you to stand apart from the ever-changing tides of circumstance. It is the calm in the storm, the clarity in the chaos, and the strength to act according to principle rather than opinion. Detachment is not coldness. It is not withdrawal from life. It is not a refusal to care. On the contrary, it allows you to engage more fully with reality. You can love, work, and pursue excellence with focus because you are no longer distracted by the need for external validation. Your power is gathered within, directed by your own purpose, shielded by your discipline. The world is unpredictable. What you possess today may be gone tomorrow. Praise you receive now may vanish by sunrise. If your worth is tied to these external conditions, your sense of security will always be fragile. Detachment frees you from this trap. It allows you to act decisively, make bold choices, and invest in yourself without fear. When you detach from outcome, you attach to principle. You act because it is right, not because it is convenient. You do what is necessary, even if recognition does not follow. You invest in your growth, your skills, and your discipline, knowing that the rewards will come to those who persist with clarity of purpose. Consider the person who clings to comfort. Each moment of opportunity that requires effort or risk is a threat. Their mind hesitates, their courage falters, and their potential diminishes. They cannot see beyond the short-term cost. But the detached person embraces challenge. They understand that comfort is temporary and that growth demands risk, effort, and sometimes sacrifice. Freedom arrives the moment you recognize that your power is not in possessions or approval, but in your own mind and spirit. Your ability to endure, to act with integrity, and to remain steady in the face of uncertainty is the wealth that cannot be taken. It is yours even when the world changes, even when circumstances shift. Detachment also teaches you to remain calm in the face of failure. Those who are overly attached to outcomes become discouraged when results are delayed. Their focus shifts from what they can control to what they cannot. This is the source of most disappointment. The detached person focuses on the process, on the work, on the action they can take. The results, though important, are secondary to the discipline that generates them. In detachment, you develop clarity. You see opportunities without the fog of desire or fear. You act with precision because your judgment is unclouded. You invest time, energy, and resources wisely because your decisions are based on principle, not impulse. You learn to choose what aligns with your highest purpose rather than what appeases your fleeting emotions. The world will try to pull you into attachment at every turn. Praise, criticism, temptation, and comfort all beckon you to lose focus. People measure success differently and will pressure you to conform. Fortune can rise and fall suddenly, and many will cling in panic to what they think they cannot afford to lose. But those who master detachment are unmoved. They remain anchored in the certainty of their own worth and in the knowledge that discipline and principle will always guide them to lasting success. Detachment strengthens your ability to persevere through difficulty. When loss or failure comes, as it inevitably will, you are not destroyed. You see it as a lesson, an adjustment, and an opportunity to act with greater wisdom. You do not waste energy in resentment or regret. You recover faster, rise higher, and continue your pursuit of purpose with focus that others cannot maintain. This principle extends to relationships, reputation, and career. You do not act out of fear or neediness. You do not compromise your integrity to satisfy the expectations of others. You act from conviction, and your influence grows because people recognize your calm authority and unwavering purpose. Detachment is the path to unshakable confidence. When your focus is internal rather than external, You do not need constant approval to validate your choices. You do not fear judgment because your self-worth is anchored in discipline, character, and vision. You do not panic when circumstances shift because your power comes from your own mastery. To live detached is to live free. You are free from the chains of opinion, circumstance, and fleeting fortune. You are free to act boldly, to pursue your goals without distraction, and to build the kind of life that ordinary people only dream about. You are free to invest in your growth, to make disciplined choices, and to accumulate wealth that cannot be taken. When you practice detachment, you begin to see the world differently. Wealth is no longer a pursuit of external objects. Success is no longer measured by applause or admiration. Happiness is no longer dependent on comfort. You measure life by growth, by resilience, and by the strength of character you develop through consistent action. Detach from what does not serve your highest purpose. Let go of attachments that cloud your judgment. Release the fear of loss and the need for approval. Invest your energy in what matters most, your discipline, your growth, and your vision. This is the path to freedom, to wealth, and to the life that only the few ever achieve. In detachment, you discover the richest treasure of all. The wealth of inner freedom. The power to act without hesitation. The clarity to choose the right path when the crowd wavers. The courage to continue when comfort and fear beg you to stop. This is the unseen strength that allows you to rise above circumstance, to endure adversity, and to claim the life you were born to live. The moment you embrace detachment, you step into a new kind of power. One that cannot be stolen, cannot be diminished by failure, and cannot be shaken by fortune. You begin to live the life of the disciplined, the focused, and the unbreakable. Your energy is no longer scattered. Your mind is no longer clouded. Your future is no longer subject to the whims of chance. True detachment is your gateway to lasting success, unshakable character, and inner freedom. It is the key to wealth in every form, the power to act without fear, and the clarity to navigate life with confidence and purpose. Those who master it walk through the world untouched by distraction, undeterred by circumstance, and unstoppable in pursuit of their destiny. I can now create part 6, the final part, in the same Napoleon Hill motivational style to complete your 6-part series. Do you want me to do part 6 next? Part 6. The art of endurance and lasting wealth. Engaging hook life will test you. It will challenge you when you are tired, when hope feels distant, when the world seems indifferent. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is simple. The achievers endure. They persist when others quit. They rise when others fall. Endurance is the hidden secret that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Part 6 story. The journey to wealth, success, and fulfillment is not a sprint. It is a long, sometimes grueling path. The world is full of people who start with excitement and abandon their dreams at the first sign of struggle. True winners are different. They understand that every test, every setback, every failure is part of the process. They embrace endurance as a daily practice, not a temporary effort. Hardship is inevitable. Rejection will come. Opportunities may seem scarce, and progress may feel slow. Most people will interpret these obstacles as reasons to quit. They will blame circumstances, luck, or other people for their failures. But those who cultivate endurance know that these challenges are not obstacles. They are the very tools needed to shape their character and sharpen their skills. Endurance begins with mindset. It is the choice to continue even when there is no applause, no recognition, no guarantee of reward. It is the quiet decision to rise early, work hard, and push forward while others remain complacent. It is the refusal to surrender to fatigue, distraction, or doubt. Every act of persistence strengthens your resolve and brings you closer to the life you envision. In the darkest moments, endurance becomes your greatest ally. When plans fail, when criticism comes, when the world seems silent, your ability to continue becomes your differentiator. Success does not come to those who react emotionally or give in to despair. It comes to those who remain steady, who see failure as feedback, and who use each challenge to adapt, learn, and grow stronger. Endurance is more than stubbornness. It is intelligent persistence. It is knowing when to pivot and when to stay the course. It is understanding that effort without direction is wasted, but effort combined with clarity and discipline is unstoppable. Each day is a test. Each obstacle is an opportunity to build stamina of mind, body, and spirit. The rewards of endurance are not always immediate. Wealth and success often arrive silently, after long periods of consistent action. People may doubt you. Results may seem invisible. Your efforts may appear unnoticed. But every decision to persist compounds. Every small victory stacks upon the next. The world only recognizes what has been built over time, but you must be faithful when no one is watching. The most powerful form of endurance is internal. It is not about proving yourself to anyone else. It is about proving yourself to the person in the mirror. Your character, resilience, and integrity are strengthened each time you act in alignment with your values despite discomfort or fear. This is the kind of wealth that cannot be taken away. It is immune to luck, circumstance, or betrayal. Endurance teaches patience. It reminds you that the journey is as important as the destination. You cannot rush mastery. You cannot shortcut discipline. You cannot buy wisdom. All of these are forged through repetition, effort, and the courage to continue even when progress seems invisible. Every day that you endure, you are creating momentum that will carry you farther than luck, talent, or opportunity ever could. Those who endure develop perspective. They learn to see beyond temporary setbacks, beyond criticism, beyond loss. They understand that failure is only failure if it teaches nothing. Every disappointment carries a lesson. Every obstacle carries a hidden opportunity. The person who masters endurance does not fear difficulty because they know it is part of the blueprint for lasting success. Endurance is also about energy management. It is about understanding what to fight for, where to focus, and what to release. You cannot sustain effort in every direction. You must choose wisely. Focused, persistent effort in the right areas compounds over time into extraordinary results. Scattered energy leads to frustration and stagnation. Discipline and clarity make endurance powerful. The people you surround yourself with influence your capacity to endure. Those who doubt, complain, or settle for mediocrity can drain your energy. Seek those who inspire, challenge, and encourage resilience. Build relationships with people who act with purpose, embrace growth, and persist when life tests them. Surround yourself with endurance, and it becomes contagious. Endurance strengthens confidence. Each time you push through, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You build a track record of persistence that no external circumstance can erase. Your self-belief grows because it is earned through action, not given by praise or luck. Confidence built on endurance is unshakable. The art of endurance culminates in the realization that the journey itself is the source of wealth. Money, recognition, and opportunity are rewards, but true richness is internal. It is the mastery of your emotions, the control over your mind, and the steadfastness of your spirit. These qualities endure through storms, setbacks, and scarcity. They are the foundation of a life few ever achieve. Endurance also teaches humility. You learn to value effort over appearance, progress over praise, and integrity over instant gratification. You understand that success is not given, it is earned. You develop a patience that allows you to build a life that lasts, not one that collapses when challenges appear. In the final measure, endurance is about becoming unshakable. Life will always test you. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will challenge you. But if you can endure, you will rise each time stronger, wiser, and closer to your purpose. This is the ultimate wealth, the ability to navigate life with courage, persistence, and inner strength. Those who master endurance live differently. They rise early. They work when others rest. They study when others distract themselves. They act when others hesitate. They persist when others quit. They understand that greatness is not a result of fleeting inspiration, but of consistent, disciplined action over time. Your life is shaped by your endurance. Every choice to persist builds your character. Every refusal to quit strengthens your spirit. Every time you rise when the world expects you to fall, you claim a little more of the life you are destined to live. This is the secret the world rarely teaches. This is the path to lasting success. The journey will be long. The nights will be dark. The days will test you. But those who endure are unstoppable. They build wealth that cannot be stolen, character that cannot be shaken, and a life that cannot be diminished by circumstance. They leave behind a legacy not measured by possessions, but by the strength of their spirit and the impact of their persistence. Endurance is the final step, the culmination of discipline, detachment, and mastery over self. It is the gatekeeper to all other forms of wealth. Without it, talent is wasted, knowledge is ignored, and opportunity slips away. With it, every trial becomes a stepping stone, every loss a lesson, and every obstacle an invitation to rise. Embrace endurance. Persist when the world falters. Push when the night is dark. Rise when others surrender. Build the life you desire one day, one act, one choice at a time. The wealth you seek is not outside of you. It is forged in your persistence, in your courage, and in your refusal to quit. Your destiny belongs to those who endure. If this story inspired you, make it a habit to invest in yourself every day. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more motivational stories that can transform your mindset. Share this video with friends and family who need encouragement to rise above challenges. Leave a comment below telling us which lesson from this story you will apply in your life today. Your journey to mastery begins now.